Hey everybody, welcome back to Dave Tech, all about audiovisual and video production. And today I'm showing you what is in my bag that I bring with me when I go out to shoot, well, for any of my channels. This is the Lowepro Whistler BP350 AW2. Replaces my older bag, which I've had for many years, which is the also Lowepro Pro Runner 200 AW. This has been a great bag, but as I buy more gear, I ran out of space. So we'll get back to that in a little bit. And if you're wondering, I actually did look at a lot of other brands, but came back to Lowepro. This is cool because it opens in the back, which is great for security, because it makes it not impossible, but a lot harder to take something, because basically you have to reach behind the bag, and it's not maybe impossible, but very difficult to open when it's on my back, which is nice. So this is the windscreen, or the windsock, or the dead cat, whatever you want to call it, for one of my Rode microphones. I'll show you that in a little bit as things fly all over the place. This is my head mount, which I've gotten a lot of use out of. It's a really good thing. The mount broke a few years ago, or well, maybe a year ago. So I actually used one of the adhesive mounts that the GoPro comes with it. Up until then, I have not used because I just haven't found a use. It seems really useful, but I really haven't found much for it. And this actually is a third-party J-hook, which is because my two GoPro hooks both broke within a month of each other. This is insanely cheap. I'll put it in the link below for Amazon. It's worked really well. I have two of these because I have two GoPros. The other one is being used for the GoPro above, which is a 7. This is a light that I've purchased, ooh, that's not good, recently, which is the Boling P1. I'll be reviewing this on this channel soon. Really handy case. I thought it was pretty silly when I first saw it. Apparently I have to be careful with how I put it in the bag, but it's awesome. Now, a cheaper light, which I also like, is the Vijim. I'm so bad with names. This is only a bicolor light, but it's also a lot cheaper and pretty cool. Gonna review this as well. This is my old original GoPro. This is a 3 Plus, which I've modified with a backbone so I can put other lenses on it, and it has a backpack on it, which is very good, a battery backpack, which is very good because the older GoPro batteries were terrible. And I would always turn off the Wi-Fi unless I had to use it at that moment, because it would drain the batteries like crazy. Over here is what I thought was going to be thinner, but oops. One of the ProGaff rolls, which is the smaller one. Bought this on Amazon. Put the link below as well. And also my, in several pieces here, REMOVU R1, which is a gimbal, which is for the GoPro. I can't believe I just did that. So I have a review of this as well. If you want to check that out, it's actually on my other channel, Roddy Paws. And here's some more of those J-hooks. This is, forget which light I bought, but it's just a standard hot or cold shoe mount. Now this is the plastic piece that comes with the GoPro that sits in the box. This is for my 3 Plus. They don't come this wide anymore, but it's meant to just display the camera. But I found it useful, so I kept it. And obviously, because it's from 2 cameras ago. And when I want to put the camera on a flat surface, grab this. Works really, really well. And another J-hook and extra parts. And another mount for GoPros and stuff to put on top of my camera. This one, I believe, came with the Boling. Now this is a lens which I bought on recommendation from several different YouTubers, and I didn't use it for a long time. This is a 50mm Canon. It was right when it first came out because this is a STM lens, which works better with the dual pixel autofocus. But the two problems I have with this is that it doesn't have stabilization and it is very narrow. So on a crop sensor, 50mm is even, well, I have to move very far back to get things in frame. And because it's a 1.8, it has an extremely shallow depth of field, which is good sometimes when you want that. I might add some quick shots that I've gotten with this, but again, it also means that things can come out of focus really fast. This is an extra plate for my Manfrotto and my new tripod head that I'm going to be showing you guys in a later review. Here's another one of those. Yeah, I've got a bunch. And down here is my little accessory thing. Put it in here. I was like, what can I fit in here? I went to the Bass Pro Shops and found this. It's like, oh, hey, look at that. It fits perfectly in here. This is not leftover, but I did this for my trip to California. It's extra batteries, and I specifically bound them together with gaffer's tape and a little bit of foam from the, well, this is pick and pluck foam from Pelican. I actually don't own a Pelican case, except my little phone case, but I knew somebody who did, and he asked me one day, do you want some pull and pluck foam? I'm like, yeah. So I still have that. The reason is because you can see it's very, very, very secure, and this adds a little bit of cushioning in case it moves around. It absorbs shock, and if I travel, which again, I'd set this up to travel to California, I don't have to say I have loose lithium batteries, because you can see they're not loose at all. So there's no way that these can short out. This is a LensPen. Over here, we have a circular polarizer, which ironically is very polarizing. Either it works or it does nothing. Occasionally it'll help slightly, but usually it's like a huge difference or none at all, in my experience. Also, for the 50mm, I have a neutral density. Because it is such a wide open aperture, I like to shoot at that wide open aperture for the shallow depth of field, but you know, not blow out the shot. So bought this little one. This is a Tiffen, so it's a little higher quality than the Insignia that I have here. And of course, cards for my GoPro cameras and cards for the 70D, which, speaking of which, well, the 70D would go right here, but I'm shooting with it right now, so it doesn't go there right now. And in this little pouch, this really cool thing, again, I'll put links to like all of this stuff in the description from Amazon, because a lot of these things I bought from Amazon. This was an extremely inexpensive handle for my GoPro cameras, and goes into a little tripod, which is pretty cool. It's just the right size for my hand, and it doesn't extend. Why? Because I shoot at Disney sometimes, and it would possibly be considered a selfie stick. And if they said, does it extend? And I'd have to say yes, they might say, nope, not in this park. So I bought that one. Again, super inexpensive, but extremely useful. Now, up here is where I keep my GoPro batteries. It's probably way too, Canon batteries probably way too close to this GoPro, but there it is. Normally this has my name and my phone number on it, but I'm not going to show you guys that. Really quickly, probably ironically can only get this on the, I'm going to put this on the floor for a second. Probably get this best on the GoPro. Here is where you can see 5 and 7. This is where the 7 goes. This is the 5 goes. It's because when I look down in the case, which one's the 5, which one's the 7, you wouldn't be able to tell. Or at least I wouldn't be able to tell. It's a little bit dark. The 7's a little bit darker than the 5, but really not that big of a deal. Am I going to get the 8? No, I'm not. Why? Because it's not that much better. It's better, but it's not amazingly better. Now this little one, oops, is a pretty cool extender, but it doesn't flip like most of these extenders will flip it 90 degrees. This one extends it slightly, but doesn't flip it, which is awesome. I forget what accessory I bought that has that. So I have these short 90-degree flipping extensions, and I have one here, a few that extend it a little bit longer, and trust me, I use these a lot. Here's the regular, newer, improved, since the 7 really, mount, and then another one of these. This allows me to use a GoPro mount for a different kind of camera, 3/8 inch, I believe, standard tripod. There's another one of these, another one of these. Of course, plenty of GoPro screws, 2 batteries. I've had these since my 5. I marked this one because I bought an additional one because they start to, rechargeable batteries kind of lose the ability to charge fully over time. Sometimes I will take just my GoPro kit with me, and I've done that and got to the location and said, oh, hey, you know what? I don't have a card in my GoPro. It was really before I bought the 7. And this is all I brought. So this little 32 gig card, little because it's micro SD, but also 32 gigs. Not anymore. I buy 128s now. But I marked this as new because it will hold a better charge. And then a lens cloth. This I also bought at the, I call it the animal murder store, the Outdoor World, and at the time it fit my old bag so perfectly it looked like it was made for it. It works extremely well. Now to bring the bag back up for a moment. This is my audio kit and 2 accessories for my GoPro that came with this clamp. So I bought this, one of the pieces broke on it, so I bought another one. That piece broke. And today while I was getting ready for this video, the other half broke, so I'm pretty sure it's dead. That's all. This, really quickly, is a nice separate, this is a nice separate area in this bag, which has this, I think it's a rubber, but it's puncture resistant, and it isolates this from the rest of the bag for all those times I'm going to go climbing up a snowy cliff, which is never. But I have used it because sometimes I'll go to a water park, like if I go to Legoland, I'll put my wet clothes when I change and it keeps it separate from the rest, so still find it useful. Oh, and before I forget, it's Florida, so sunglasses. And in here, I have the outer cover, which is a waterproof cover for the bag, which unfortunately, unlike my old bag, isn't attached to it, and also a small 5-in-1 reflector kit, which I don't use all that often, but it's nice to have, and it's pretty small, but I lost the zipper. Okay. So that is what's in the bag. I'll show you the audio kit really quickly. Now, be careful when you modify a plastic case like this. Don't be dumb, like I was. So what I did was I bought this same as this GoPro kit. I cut the partitions out to put the pull and pluck foam in. Well, I was like, well, that really worked well. So I still had some pull and pluck foam. I'm going to do that again. So I was cutting these pieces that separated them so I can fit the microphone in. And I was using a utility knife, but well, I didn't have enough space to get the whole knife. So I was like, well, I'll just take the blade out and I'll cut the plastic. All right. Well, always want to be safe. So I was wearing goggles. Why? Because this is kind of a hard plastic. And I was worried that a small piece would break off and shoot into my eye, which would be very bad. That didn't happen. What happened was, as I was pushing the blade along, it got stuck and it did a quick 180, flipped around, and there goes parts of my thumb, and it's apparently never going to grow back. So, yay? I think not. So in here we have, or I have, my Rode Wireless Go kit, which is a video I'm actually going to shoot next. That's the transmitter and receiver, and the male-to-male TRS to TRS. This is the receiver for my fabulous, inexpensive, but very effective wireless microphone. I'm going to be reviewing this as well. It is unbelievably inexpensive. I can't believe you can buy a wireless system for this little money. It doesn't sound perfect, but the ambient noise rejection on this is amazing. I've used it in trade shows in a very busy convention center, and you can't hear anything but the person talking to it. It's just amazing. So this, going back to here, this is the Video Mic Me L from Rode. I actually won this. This is the little fro for the microphone I'm wearing right now. And here's one of the windscreens for the Video Mic Go, and some cables for recharging the Video Mic, the Wireless Go, I'm sorry. The Wireless Go is what the USB-C is for, and the other one is for the receiver for the handheld. And speaking of the handheld, here's a microphone flag that I bought from Amazon. That's correct. Really doesn't have a very good example of a flag on there right now. It's something I threw together really quickly. I have some other ones for my different channels. This one, as you can see, was for our live show, Dave and Brian Live. I'm going to be buying another microphone like this probably, because I don't like the pass back and forth thing. I know it's kind of a standard thing, but I just don't like it. I'd rather have a microphone for each person and then just have them talk. I don't know. I just don't like how this looks. And because the recorder I'm using, the audio recorder, cannot record to anything over, I believe, 32 gigabytes, and all of my cards for my Canon are 64 or 128 gigs. You put a 64 gig card in that audio recorder, it doesn't know what to do with it. So, in case, and this has happened, in case I take the card out to listen to audio, copy it over, forget to put it back in, I have this backup card. It goes right there. Hey, you know, I know my flaws, and I know how to cover myself from at least some of them. So that is what is in my camera bag for 2020. I'm still trying to figure out how to exactly put this all together where it's not just a cluster. Really the main reason why I bought a new, I know I should probably clean this up as I go. A new bag was, even though this continues to be a really great bag, it got to the point where I'm buying more and more gear, and I was just kind of shoving the gear here and there. I was thinking a larger bag would have more space and more compartments, and everything would fit neatly and not get thrown in there and possibly damaged. Still trying to figure out exactly how to work with that, with the new bag and the new compartments, because I had, again, had this for so many years. I had the system down, so that's why I kind of put off this video, because I'm thinking, well, why don't I figure out what I'm doing with this bag before I record a video? But then I thought, okay, well, it's been a lot of months. Might as well show you what's in my bag and what I carry. So that is a look at all the things I carry with me when I go out to the field, from years of, oh man, I wish I had this with me. Oh, I could use that if I was here. I've had this, and there's been many times when I go out and I think, I'm not gonna use my GoPro today. I'm just not. And I get out there and I'm like, great. Or the stabilizer. I'm not gonna use a stabilizer. Oh man, that stabilizer would be great. So again, links for everything will be down in the description. This channel is so new, I don't have monetization yet because I'm right now at 9 subscribers. So hopefully that will increase it over time. But I do appreciate if you click on the links below. Even if you don't buy that one thing, it is monetized and affiliated, so I get a percentage of what you buy, and it's going to go towards more gear. In 2020, I hope to buy a new camera, and I just bought this, hopefully it's out of frame, I think it is, the ceiling mount for the GoPro on Amazon, and there's a lot of other gear I'd like to buy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget, you can't spell Dave without AV.